We're live. Hi, everyone. Lynn Maley here. I teach my clients to discover their personal style, sparking happiness and confidence, one article of clothing at a time. Thanks for joining us today. And my interview for today is Karin Eckerson, interior designer. That's right, right?
That's right.
And Karin and I are friends, actually from summer camp, which I've mentioned. We went to Camp Bernie.
We did.
And
many years ago.
Yeah, and Naoko, who I interviewed, also was a Camp Bernie person.
Yeah.
And as if you couldn't tell, camp is a very special place, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Lots of good memories, lots of fun out of nothing.
That's right. I mean, the time was different, but like we were chatting before, I got to send my son there, which was really awesome.
And there's a bunch of people who did that, actually.
Yeah. Some of the people, our kids were in the same cabin. It was cool.
So wild.
Yeah, it was wild. All these years later, like over 30 years later.
And how jealous were you?
I was more than jealous. I mean, I've always said to my husband that if I could have made a career out of working at that camp, I would have.
There are people who are still there, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, it just was a really special place. It's hard to explain to someone who doesn't go to sleepaway camp what makes it so special. But the bonds, we haven't talked in ages, and it's like yesterday,
Yeah. I actually think I put in I started going there when I was 6.
Yes,
and I went every summer until I worked there and left when I was 19.
And I went there when I was, I think, going into 4th or 5th grade. I think, and then I worked till I was 21. And I might have one summer off, but I worked there 5 or 6 years. And
I was very sad when I stopped working there.
It's a hard decision to make, right?
Yeah. Anyway.
So anyway, good time. It's a summer camp. It's awesome.
Yes.
They'll have memories and bonds of people that you just don't really get anywhere else. So
yes, I agree.
So Karin is now an interior designer, but that wasn't your first career, was it?
It was not. No, I think you'll find a lot of interior designers have had different careers. I graduated from college and worked in advertising. And then one day, I don't even think I discussed it with my then fiance, husband now, that I was going to go to grad school. And I went to grad school to become a clinical social worker. Mm-hmm. So I was a family therapist. And I did that for a number of years until I worked my way up to running an outpatient unit for children and their families until we had our second child. And then I decided that I wanted to stay home with the kids. So I did. And in that time period, I thought, now that I've sunk all that money into grad school, do I want to go back and do that? So I decided to go back to school one more time for something that I was really interested in, which was design. I'm not sure that I had intention, but I really enjoyed it. And then I was lucky enough, and that was when we were living in Virginia. I was lucky enough then to get a job at the only design firm in my town. So, and then that was my son's 17, and that's when he was 4.
Wow. I love clothing and accessories, but decorating, designing, is beyond me.
Yeah.
I mean, if I see it in a catalog, I'm like, I couldn't do that. So I'm fascinated by what you do and how you
I think it's very much the same, probably mixing patterns and colors and textures. But I worked for a firm in Virginia. And then when we moved to New Jersey 8 years ago, I worked for a number of different firms in this area.
8 years up here?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I feel like it's only been 3 or 4. I didn't realize just time flies. When you see on Facebook and wow.
8 years back.
When you came back up, you worked at a design firm up here?
I did. Actually, I worked at it was a storefront in Princeton, and I helped them then open up a design. They bought the storefront next door, and then they expanded into that. And then from there, I went to an actual design firm. Mm-hmm. And then from there, I jumped to another design firm over in Newtown, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. And then almost 2 years ago now, let me think. No, over 2 years ago. Over 2 years ago, I don't know. This is the way I operate. One day I'm not really thinking about something, and the next day I am. And what wasn't possible before is now possible. And I just thought to myself, I really need to be out on my own. I really need my relationships to be between me and my clients, so that I can really give them what they want, as opposed to it being between myself, my boss, and my clients.
Right.
So I just sort of set up shop and got everything I needed together. And so in April, it'll be 3 years.
Wow. I mean, that takes I'm just so impressed. It's like a scary leap, right? To do that.
Again, that's the way I am. Like, I'm not, my friends used to be like, go out on your own. And I'll be like, no,
Right.
I'm so afraid. And I just one day thought this was definitely possible. I had gathered so much information of what I needed, and I've honestly never looked back. It was one of the best decisions I ever made.
You were in a magazine. They featured you. What magazine was that?
Oh,
for the Princeton, right?
I was in the Princeton magazine. They did a profile of me.
That's so cool.
They picked some designers in the area, and they took photo of the designer in their own home, and then did a bit of a profile.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So exciting. Oh my gosh.
And then I do some work with a magazine, Newtown Lifestyle magazine over in Newtown. And I think I'll have the cover of that magazine in the springtime.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing that you get to do now in your own business?
My favorite thing.
She was like, I don't know how I'm going to answer. I'm like, you're going to be fine. Let me just ask.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think my favorite thing is that I have control of my own trajectory with my work. This allows me so much freedom with my family. I think I work harder now than I did before. Most certainly I do, but I enjoy it more, way, way more. I love the personal aspect of the work that I do because I'm in people's homes and I'm in there for many months at a time. And I really get to develop the relationships with them. And maybe that's from when I was a therapist that it comes back in handy, like the personal interaction, the importance of communication and so forth, to really interpret what it is that they want. And then I was just at an installation this morning for a mid-century modern home for a young couple. And that's pretty much out of my general element to handle that style, but I decorate for anybody's style. You name it. And I'm not a one-trick pony. I have to, in my mind, in my business model. So I was over there today, and I had been working with those clients for many months to sort of get their project up and running. And they stepped out while we were doing the window treatment installation, and they came in and they were so happy. And that makes me so happy.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes it's like the littlest thing. You're like, oh, like for me, I don't see the way you would have the vision. So I think it's exciting for people. You know, you have that vision and you can do that. And then, because I don't personally think that way about decorating. So I have to make sure that one of the things I'm working on myself personally is when something is delivered or we're installing something, not to be like, I love it. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I love it. I have to wait and let them say something first. And they do, but I get very excited. I get that way when I dress people sometimes. Like I'll sometimes make people put up nothing outrageous, but a lot of times be like, I can't, blah, blah, blah. And I'll just be like, I'll ease them into something, try on the outfit, and I'll get so happy. Like when I know it fits right and, and like they can pull it off. And then I'm always like, and they're like, and like they have to, sometimes they love it, sometimes they don't, but I can't get too excited because I think they need to like see it and then use it. So I can understand that.
Yeah.
So like what kind of services do you offer? Like I feel like I'm a newbie here. So like what is it exactly that you offer?
So I have multiple ways of working with my clients, and everything starts with just an initial conversation on the telephone. Somebody calls me up, we schedule a time on the phone to just talk about their project, and I'm just gathering information. And then I set up an initial consultation at their home where I'll just come over now, we're like fully donned with the mask, where I just come over and they give me a tour of their home, give me the laundry list of what they, would like to accomplish. And then I come back to the office and I put together a retainer based on the scope of the project. Sometimes my projects are just like, I just need window treatments in this room. Okay, we can do that. Or somebody needs a paint palette and they need the finishing touches on their living room. I can do that. Sometimes people bring me in, and this does happen. People move from one home to another and they don't bring a thing with them. They leave it all behind. They want to change style.
Do you love that?
That is a blank canvas for a painter right there, right? So what I do is I put together, just like on HGTV, right? So I put together a design board that has the upholstery and the tabletop, case good pieces, lighting, everything that goes into a room, artwork, whatever it is that they want. And I'm also able to use things that people have. We could reupholster, and I do 3D renderings of the room. So I can go into a room and I can sort of see how I think it should be pretty much right away. But for me to verbally explain that to people, it's not sufficient. So I have, I provide 3D renderings so we can sort of swing around the room and move and
Right.
sort of see it in reality with the pieces of parts. And then I put together a line item proposal of all elements of cost, and we might massage it there. We might push and pull on that proposal to make sure you like it aesthetically as well as financially.
Mhm.
And then I do all the ordering, and I have a warehouse in Philadelphia, and they receive it.
Mhm.
Hang on to it all until I'm ready for an installation. I just arranged an installation earlier today that will come, I guess, in a week or so. And then I go with my moving guys and we bring it all in. We place everything. I make sure everything is exactly as I want it to be. And sometimes the clients are there and sometimes they're not. So, and then there's the big reveal. And yeah. And my relationship with my clients are long-term. People will finish something and then they want to move on. Maybe they'll call me back a little bit. We've established that relationship.
That's so nice. You mentioned paint, and I wanted to just bring up, you are going to give away a paint like a virtual, since people are everywhere in my group, a virtual paint consultation.
Yep.
You can FaceTime or video, whatever, and you'll help someone pick out paint color for a room.
Yep.
And so we decided to just be, if they'd follow you on Instagram and then just come back to our video and just comment done. We'll randomly pick a winner in a couple of days. So that's very generous and nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope no one enters so I can win. I should be the one to win, but there is a room I need some help with.
I'm available.
Okay.
Yeah.
My friend used to work at the paint store in town, and that was like her job. She would like go to people's, like that was just a service they provide.
Yeah. I mean, that's a special talent in and of itself.
Yeah, she was really, it was
choose paint colors. Yeah.
To me, it's so fascinating how you can do that. Because like when someone's like, it's warm, it's this, it's that. I'm like, I have no idea what they're talking about.
Right. And the paint color will look different per the time of day.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. But it changes everything. I feel like it's such an important part.
It does. And a good painter. So part of what I also do is I have a list of contractors that I work with. They don't have to use my contractors, but I have a really good founded relationship with them. Mm-hmm. And when I have my when I have my projects painted, it's like a totally new house. Everything is walked in. Every edge is super sharp. You know, it's really spectacular. Just walk in, and just when it's just paint and there's nothing else yet. Yeah.
Someone says they're done already. They've already following you on Instagram and they're commenting done. I've got confidence.
Yay!
And just so you know, we can't see the unless you like enable it where you give us permission for your name to come up on the comments, just the way the program is set up in Facebook. I see someone is done. You can say hi and who you are, but we don't know who you are just yet.
Yes, Facebook user done.
Yes, done. So awesome. I love it. And we'll have the video up. I mean, I keep the videos up, but I'll put it in the announcement so that it's easier to find. Yeah. And people can watch at their leisure. I know everyone, it's like 2 p.m, and some people could be working.
Right. Yeah.
And maybe I will be.
Yeah.
But so do you have any like a one tip for something, like an easy tip? Or
a couple things come to my mind. One is just be true to yourself. Like I made this mistake myself in design. Early on, when I worked for my first firm, I got sort of swept away in all the fun and funky things that I was seeing. I go to High Point Furniture Market once a year. I go to New York to the furniture show there, and you're exposed to a whole lot. Yeah. And I think it's important to just be true to yourself. And even if you don't have a word for what your style is, a good designer can help figure that out for you. Maybe let the designer push you a little bit, like you would with clothing. Say, try this.
Bullyish.
Yeah,
in a nice way.
A designer should be a real partner in the process. But try to stay true to yourself. Don't follow a fad. There's no reason to follow a fad. Maybe you like elements of it, but it should be timeless that your design work can carry you through. Right. That's a general tip, but like a specific tip is don't hang your artwork too high. That is what I see all the time. I mean, I'm quite tall. I'm 6'2". Yeah. But artwork should be at your eye level. Okay.
I never know. I always need someone to come over and be like, what do I have? Yeah. We'll look back there. But yeah.
Artwork should be your eye level. And then the other thing is I'm a super stickler for rugs being too small. The rule if you have like a living room arrangement with sofa, 2 chairs, so forth, is that the front legs of the furniture should be on the sofa. I mean, front legs of the furniture should be on the rug. A lot of people will have the rug be in front of the front legs of any pieces of upholstery. And if you put the rug underneath the front legs of your seating, it will unify the space, and it will feel correct. It's an emotional way of designing. It feels uneasy and incorrect when you have a rug that's too small. Plus, when you put the proper size rug in a room, it makes your room feel bigger.
Right. I love that.
Pushes the edges out.
Yeah. I really like that.
Yeah.
I would not see. I do not know anything, so that is awesome. By the way, Margot is a big fan. She says, "I don't know if you saw that."
Oh yeah, that's my sister.
I know. Hi, Margot. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Yeah. I think it's her who's saying she's excited and she's a big fan. So
yes. Well, she's a supportive sister.
I know, it's nice.
Yes.
My supportive cousin doesn't ever go on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
She makes a comment and I'm like, oh. It's like my sister, as you know, my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
So this was really great. Like, it was great to catch up.
Yeah.
I feel like
you're inviting me. I mean, I think it's great profiling women in business, I think is.
Yeah. You know what? I like always love to connect people. If someone's on Facebook's like, I need a painter, I need a whatever. Like, I always like whoever I know, or Pilates instructor, like, I've always been doing that for years. And then when I had this like fashion page, I was like, why don't I just keep doing that and interview people? Because I have so many friends in business who are amazing and in different, parts of life. So like, I'm home, I started a couple weeks ago and I was like, I'm home. And then once it's underway, I can do it at night from, on the school night, and just going to keep going until I run out.
Right. I don't think you will run out.
A list of people that she has run by her. So
one other thing I did want to mention is that with all this situation going on with COVID, it really put my business, the interior design business, a little bit behind the 8 ball for a little while. Mm-hmm. And now everything is open again, and things are moving along. And I'm getting tremendous amount of inquiries for projects. But I can also do, I have projects here locally. I'm in central New Jersey. Mm-hmm. I have projects here locally, but I can also do jobs virtually. Like, I have a job in Hilton Head, South Carolina.
Wow.
I have a job at the Delaware Beach. I have a job in Virginia, south of DC. So I can do jobs, either go to a place that's not directly here, which is completely fine. I do that for all those projects I just mentioned. But I can also do e-design for people, which is a little bit less of an involvement for people, where they just need a space plan for their home, and they would like to use maybe, they want to use retail sources. Then I make a list of those options for people. So e-design has been super helpful during this time of COVID for people that want to take on a project but don't want to jump into the full service design.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned that, actually.
Yeah.
I should have asked you that. I forgot. So that was awesome. Yeah. And technology just makes things a lot easier these days. It really does.
I was actually already prepared without knowing it. I have an online design studio. So my clients, of course, we meet in person, we meet on Zoom, but also, if they're up at 1 o'clock in the morning and they can't sleep, they can log into the design studio and they can tool around and see what I'm doing in real time and give me feedback. Super interactive. Yeah. And that has proven to be super helpful during this time of COVID. Earlier on, when people were very nervous. I mean, now I'm pretty much back to.
Yeah. I feel like things have opened up and people are being careful and, taking precautions and stuff. But definitely. I know. And then I was like, I can do virtual stuff too. Like, it occurred to me not so long ago, like, I can help someone clean their closet out from the computer,
I actually knew that you were giving that away, and I thought my husband would tell you I'm the perfect candidate for that, because that is a skill set that I do not have.
I love doing it.
I would be so terrified to put my name in there for fear I'd actually win.
Oh my gosh. It gives me such satisfaction.
It's not my skill set.
I want to say, anyone who watches this later will say that I am fair. Like, if my friend Krista watches, she can write a little story about how I've helped her when she moved to California. 9 huge bags, but she had a lot of stuff. But I'm very fair. There's other people I've helped. Watch this. I am fair. But I just get satisfaction of cleaning stuff, organizing it.
Yeah. I wish I were that person, but alas, I am not.
How can people find you?
Well, on the screen is the spelling of my name. Thanks, Mom and Dad, for the I and Karin. Makes everything hard. But you can just, the www. Karin Eckerson Interiors is my website. And then Karin Eckerson Interiors is my Facebook page. Instagram, I actually have Instagram feed onto Facebook, so it's pretty much the same, but
Okay.
I have a lot. I feel like Instagram is my main home.
Mhm.
And
Follow
I've
me on
been,
Instagram,
it took
come
me a
back.
long time, but it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to apologize for being distracted. My cat keeps wanting to walk in front. And so if you see my arm out, it's pushing her out of the way. Her tail made an appearance, and I apologize.
My dog is on
This
the
is
floor.
real
My
life.
other two are upstairs. So gotcha.
This is real life from my living room.
It is. It is. Yeah. So just my name you can search and you'll find many platforms.
Yeah. And I will add it to the video in a little bit, so don't worry. And I'll keep talking it up and sharing it. And
thank you.
This was so nice that you would join me for maybe I'll call it Live with Lynn. I don't know. I have sort of what I'm doing, but a little is business interview. And everyone check out her website. She's doing the paint consultation giveaway. So follow her on Insta, come back and just say done. And I'll pick a winner in a couple of days after, people have had a chance to look. And if you like a video or you just got a good tip and you just make a comment, just say hello. And if you're watching on YouTube, because I have a YouTube channel, like it and subscribe. So
it says, woohoo, Karin Eckerson Interiors, Facebook user. I don't know who it is, but thanks.
It's probably Margot.
Yeah.
He's a fan.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I got some good tips, which I need. So
yeah, it's nice to see you.
All right, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Karin.
Thanks so much. Bye, everyone.